Coach, that means a bit of a lineup change once again as we take a look at the starting lineups presented by Kia. So Derek White stays in that starting lineup with Drew Holiday out. Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic, they're feeling good about themselves right now. What a defensive effort they had in Game 3.
Right, and they've got both a great game plan and the personnel to execute it. Look, what they have done is try to take away three-point attempts from the Boston Celtics. They're shooting 15 fewer threes a game in this series than they did during the season. How do they do it? They switch every screen. They play everybody one-on-one. They don't help off shooters.
A massive team with height and athleticism, and the two stars in Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner. We're ready to go here. Mark Davis, Tyler Ford, Andy Nagy. Andy Nagy officiating his first ever NBA playoff game. They put it in the air. It is the Magic who controls the opening tip, and off we go in Game 4 in Orlando. Franz Wagner, he and Banchero stacking up huge numbers all postseason long. That includes the play-in game. The scoring tonight.
The Celtics switching everything. He got Porzingis on him, and Porzingis played him with a big cushion.
Derek White had that big game one, scored 30 in that one. Holiday has been shelved in back-to-back games, and it is White who gets the first Boston basket.
Nice pass from Jason Tatum there.
Celtics won game one, and they rolled in Boston 103-86. Game 2 is a little closer. Boston winning by 9 at TD Garden, and then Game 3 was the Magic's first home game and their first win of this series as Corey Joseph inserted into that point guard role in early March. He has been a settling force for this Magic team at the point guard position. Trying to check White here. And now Brown with that dislocated finger and that bone bruise on the knee, as Lauren reported. They're saying that ball was tipped. Here's Porzingis now. Late clock three-pointer misses. He's now 0 for 11 from three-point range in this series. Horford battling for it. It is Joseph who comes away with a rebound.
Well, and it's the one area where the Magic have had a little trouble defensively is on the boards, because they're switching everything, and that gives them some size matchups on the glass.
Banchero drives and is fouled. And free throws for Paolo Banchero.
Well, he's already shot 25 free throws in this series through 3 games. So he'll be shooting 26 and 27. He and Wagner both big, strong guys who can put the ball on the floor and relish contact.
36, 32, and 29 points for Banchero in each of the first 3 games. And Coach, this tandem, the Wagner-Banchero tandem, averaging over 50 points per game. Banchero at 26, Wagner at 24. First Orlando teammates since Penny and Shaq this year to go 20-plus in 2 different spots.
And they're the highest scoring duo in the playoffs coming into today.
1 out of 2 for Banchero. Jaylen Brown backing down. Caldwell Pope sets up Horford for 3. And there's Wendell Carter with the rebound.
And that was a rare open look for Boston there, because Banchero came getting ready to help on the post and left Horford open.
Going to be a loose ball foul on Porzingis. It's going to stay on this end of the floor.
Well, Wendell Carter Jr. has been relentlessly pursuing on the offensive glass, and that's what creates it here. He's there in an excellent call, just getting held there by Porzingis.
Carter just turned 26. At his first playoff double-double on Friday. He has averaged a double-double against Boston this year. There's a turnover. Tatum on the run. Wagner and Banchero get back. Three-pointer in transition, no good. White with an offensive rebound. White probing. And a hot pass that Porzingis runs down. Late clock. Orlando did a nice job getting back. And they forced Boston into a late clock situation here as Brown missed it. And there's Carter with a board. Three-point shooting has not been there to Boston's liking in this series, especially in the last 2 games. And that really was the discrepancy, not just the poor three-point shooting, the volume of threes, the turnovers for Game 3, and the shots on goal for Boston in Game 3. Porzingis, no good.
That's been a big part of the problem for Boston offensively, is the Magic switch everything. Porzingis was the best big guy in the league last year against switches, and he's really struggled in this series. Only 9 for 23 now, under 40% from two-point range. You already said he's 0 for 11 from 3, but that's against... That Porzingis had Caldwell Pope in the post. The Magic are not going to double.
Got a foul on Wagner. Thought he had a clean swipe of it. Let's see how it's going to be called on the perimeter. 21 Boston turnovers in Game 3. That is very rare for the Celtics to turn it over at that volume. Here's Brown inside, gets a friendly bounce. Only twice this year did Boston turn it over more than 20 times. Game 3 against the Magic, and way back in November against Atlanta. Joe Mazzulla feels like the turnovers alone. Nice setup by Wagner to Carter.
Well, the Magic rely on their star. They're the guy.
White set him up. Porzingis gets a dunk. Boston 2 for 9 from two-point range. Have not hit yet from three-point range. They're 0 for 6. Jaylen Brown, guarded by Banchero, gets inside. Banchero with a block. The Magic meeting the Celtics with all that size. Inside, and Banchero scores it with a foul. Oh, he is a beast.
He really is, and when he gets the ball out in the open floor like that and has room. But he started that break, as you said, with the block again. Jamal Mosley relying on his guys to be able to defend the ball one-on-one, because if they come off to help you, open up that very dangerous Celtic three-point game.
29 in Game 3, was 7 of 8 from the line. He goes back to the line and finishes off a three-point trip down the floor. Orlando presents some challenges to Boston that almost no other team can present. As Porzingis, another rim run set up again by Derek White. They're 2 for 2 with that one.
Yeah, and they're going to keep going back to it. And one of the adjustments that Joe Mazzulla wanted Porzingis to make, he told us before the game, was to roll to the rim, roll deeper rather than either popping or sealing at the free throw line to catch the ball and isolate. It's been successful twice.
Al Horford blocks Wagner on a corner 3 attempt. Horford is active here early. Well, what a tremendous season he's having. Horford at 38 years of age, coach. He just continues to impress, and a valuable member of this Celtics team. Does so many little things for him.
Yeah, and look, 38 years old. He's in the starting lineup tonight. And who do they match him up with? He's guarding Franz Wagner. It's not like they're trying to hide the old veteran. He's guarding the stars.
Here, shot at 3%, rises his level in the playoffs. Huge factor in their championship run a year ago, Big Al. Back in Florida, where he was a Florida Gator. Late clock here, down to 2. Wagner for 3, got it. Wagner has not been great from three-point range, but he's starting to find it here in the last couple of games. Shot at below 30% from three-point range this season. Deflection and a steal.
And he's 6 for 27 now in the series. 22%.
Hit a couple in Game 3. He's got his first here. Banchero can't get that one to go. And now Brown driving. Wagner hits the deck, and Brown falls over him.
It's going to be Wagner's second.
That'll take us to a timeout. Franz Wagner, 2 fouls, but a big 3.
Yeah, you don't see too many step-back threes out of Franz Wagner, but that's a huge one. The Magic lead it by 5.
Yes, sir, Kenneth. Don't forget to download the FanDuel Sports app. You know why? It's your home for live same-game parlays all throughout the playoffs.
Okay.
So who scores more points tonight? Tatum or Brown? Apollo and Franz Wagner.
I'm going to take Tatum and Brown.
Who's the kid screaming in the background?
All right, thank you, fellas. And it'll be Brown at the free throw line. That's not a bad duo to choose. You see Brown's numbers, 36 in game 2. Came back with 19. Remember, had that dislocated finger on his right hand as he knocks down the first one. A reminder, you can shop NBAstore.com for the best selection of NBA playoff gear. Choose from jerseys, tees, hats, and more. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience. Jamal Mosley going with Caleb Houston here in the first quarter rotation as Brown knocks down the 2 free throws, trying to get a shooter on the floor.
Doesn't have many to choose from. Caleb Houston, the only true sticker on this team.
Wagner with those 2 early fouls in the first 5+ minutes.
Now with Wagner out, Al Horford actually started on Banchero that possession.
How about Joseph? A little runner in the lane is good from the point guard. Brown pulls up for 3. Boston is 0 for 7 from 3-point range. They're getting volume, but they're not getting.
They're getting volume, but they're all, you're seeing them like that off the dribble pull-ups. They're not getting their driving kick in as Banchero knocks one down. He's only 32% on the year, but here in this series, he's now at 50% from 3.
Let's keep an eye on the score with Wagner on the bench. See how they hold up. Nice feed, Horford to Porzingis. That has been the most success Boston has enjoyed with Porzingis going to the basket in a myriad of ways. Banchero cannot hit. Brown is there with a rebound. White wants to push. Here's Tatum now. Guarded by Banchero. Duke on Duke. And a little crossover. Tatum gets some space. Missed it. Got his own. And puts that one in with a foul. Jason Tatum sticking with it. And a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, nobody from the Magic came back to the boards there. Banchero making it tough. You see everybody's just standing and watching. Tatum gets his own and gets back to the line.
Joseph got him on the arm. And Tatum, a chance at a 3-point trip down the floor. 36 points. He was upgraded from questionable, then he played in the game, and then he was a star in game 3. But he missed game 2, coach, that right wrist. He got slapped in game 1, and it affected him greatly, so much so he couldn't answer the bell in game 2.
And this just amazes me with Al Horford. Starts on Wagner. Now at 38 years old, he's going to guard Banchero.
Black saves a turnover. First minutes on the floor for Anthony Black.
He's been a real difference maker for them, particularly on the defensive end.
Banchero rises up over Pritchard. And the ball is loose. Brown able to secure the rebound. Black's a handful at 6'7" as well. And Tatum pulls a 3. That's the first make of the game from beyond the arc for the Celtics. 8-0 Boston run. They have tied it at 18. And the first 3-pointer for the Celtics coming at the 4.5 mark. Banchero finds Black. Blocks. Pulls it back. Houston defending. Richard probing. Now Sam Hauser. Cash.
His first bucket of the series. Sam Hauser had not scored coming into tonight. He was 0 for 4, and that's not a lot of shots. Gets that look right there, knocks it in.
Coach, he had gone 36 scoreless minutes before that basket. Black, wow, what a take to the basket. Anthony Black, strong, able to lay it in.
He's going to be an outstanding player. Like so many guys on the Magic, though, you qualify it with if he becomes a better shooter.
He's only 21 at the 1 year at Arkansas. Tatum misses a 3-pointer. Black with the rebound. Black leaves it for Banchero, the headband brigade. Here goes Anthony Black. Nobody bites. And Hauser a deflection. Gary Harris secures it. Banchero wide open 3-pointer, no good. And there's Tatum. Jamal Mosley getting his bench in play here in this first quarter. Jonathan Isaac soon to check in as well. Orlando's bench was excellent in game 3. Houston guarding Horford. Horford bullies his way inside, drops it in.
But we've got to score one-on-one against the Magic because they're not coming. Even with a size advantage, they're going to play one-on-one and make you make tough twos over the top of them.
Banchero drives, picks up the foul, and again going to the free throw line. Free throws when we come back. Al Horford at 38 years young, still getting after it. You're watching the 2025 NBA playoffs, presented by Google. All right, Coach, let's check out tonight's Cinco stat of the night, presented by Corona. Pretty good company here. Among active players, highest points per game in the first 10 career playoff games, Paolo Banchero at 28.6 is on a very impressive list.
You aren't kidding. That's a great list to be on. And, you know, he raises his average above what he does in the regular season by about 6 points a game.
Been at the line often in this first quarter. He misses for the second time. And a chance to remind you that the NBA on TNT brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, the official automotive partner of the NBA. Paolo Banchero now 3 for 5 from the line. Hits 1 out of 2 that trip. And with 2:50 remaining in the first quarter, Boston has the ball up 2. They lead 2-1 in this series. Celtics put together one of their all-time great road records in franchise history as Tatum off 1 foot. Little fadeaway is true.
Well, we said it before. Those are the plays you're going to have to make if you're Boston. Orlando is not going to double team. They're going to make you score one-on-one. They're not going to bring a second defender to you where you make the pass out and shoot the 3, so you're going to have to be efficient one-on-one.
Pritchard forces the turnover. Second giveaway by the Magic. Pritchard at the controls. Gary Harris defending. He was excellent on defense in game 3. Houston trying to check Tatum. He's got Isaac with help, and that same shot. Cornette with an offensive rebound. Hauser lets it fly, and Hauser's got another one. From no points in this postseason to 2 3-pointers in his first 2 tries.
Well, Cornette, the 7th best per minute offensive rebounder in the league, and that's 5 offensive rebounds already for the Celtics.
And the game plan for Orlando, Banchero head down to the basket. He's going back to the line.
And this is a way you can get threes because people do come in to try to rebound the ball. Great offensive rebound, great pass out by Cornette.
Joe Mazzulla talked to us before the game about Sam Hauser. He said no maintenance required for Hauser. He knows his role. When he gets his looks, we expect him to let it fly with confidence. Easier said than done, Coach. He was so great in the NBA Finals a year ago. He averaged over 8 points a game in the Finals, but had not scored. And he had only 1 shot attempt in game 3.
He only had 1 shot attempt, and Peyton Pritchard, the 6th man of the year, did not have a 3-point attempt despite being 15th in the league this year in 3-point attempts.
4 trip to the line for Banchero. 1 out of 2 once again. Banchero is just 4 for 7 from the line. He's got 9 first quarter points. Pritchard and Tatum with Hauser, Cornette, and Horford, the 5 on the floor for the Celtics. Gary Harris checks Tatum. Tatum can't get a step on Harris. Drops his shoulder.
Shots the Magic are going to make you make.
The Magic up 5 when Franz Wagner picked up his 2nd foul. He's back on the floor now, and Orlando down 8. Banchero for 3. Got it. It's his 2nd 3 of this first quarter. Under a minute to go. This series heads back to Boston for a game 5 at TD Garden. They go every other day from now on. Pritchard for 3, short. Cornette back tap it into the hands of Black.
That one was deep.
Pritchard, a prolific 3-point shooter off the bench, historically good this year. Wagner missed it. Ball's loose. Wagner got it, but a body on the floor, and going to be a loose ball foul as Jonathan Isaac hits the deck. Foul on the Celtics. Peyton Pritchard picks up the foul, which will be his second. Magic minus 12 with Wagner on the bench there in early foul trouble.
Well, Magic, Wagner obviously a key piece for them, not only as a scorer, but a creator, and he's a guy who always takes on one of the stars on the other team. Opened the game on Tatum tonight.
Isaac hits the first. NBA playoff schedule continues tomorrow. The Cavs and the Heat, game 4, right here on TNT, and then Rockets and Warriors will follow. That's a game 4 there. NBA.com or the NBA app. Missing Drew Holiday, second consecutive game with a hamstring injury, as Lauren reported. And the expectation is he would have a chance to return for game 5. Joe Mazzulla is fully confident that he will return sooner than later, but he's missing his second consecutive.
The Celtics down the stretch, they rarely played with all 9 of their top guys, so they're used to having somebody out.
Magic missing 2 pieces as well. They will not come back. Mo Wagner and Jalen Suggs as you get a with Porzingis driving. And those are big pieces, Coach. Mo Wagner coming off the bench. Franz's brother. AC, he missed. Jalen Suggs, their starting point guard, 47 games missed, had knee surgery.
Yeah, he's an all-defense guy and their 3rd leading scorer. And Mo Wagner, probably the best bench big guy in the league. He's averaging like 13 points a game.
White drives it on Carter. Quick release, able to score. Shot clock is off. Last 5.5 seconds of the first quarter. Boston leads by 5. Black stretches out and lays it in. Sneaks one around Kristaps Porzingis. They draft him big here in Orlando, and it pays off for Anthony Black to take us to the end of the first quarter. Black able to lay it in. It is a 3-point Boston lead as we get ready for the second stanza. You're watching the first round, presented by NerdWallet. Boats, Orlando has their swan boats. We get ready for the second quarter. A moment ago, Lauren Jabara with Joe Mazzulla.
Coach, you said before the game you want to take care of the ball, not turn it over, and play physical. How do you feel like you responded here from game 3 in the first quarter?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Carroll's got 4 shooting fouls, so we got to do a better job of that. Got to do a better job closing the quarter.
Sam Hauser comes off the bench, immediately drains 2 threes. What kind of a judge does he give this team?
Just gives us spacing, gives us a little bit more pace.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, look, I mean, we've uncharacteristically high-scoring first quarter from these teams who give up the 2 lowest point totals in the league, and we've got 61 points in the first quarter. It won't stay like that in this game.
Both teams pushing 50% from the field, just shy of it. And a scramble for that one. Isaac last touched it. That'll be Boston ball. Let's check personnel on the floor here. First minutes for Cole Anthony, who was electric in the play-in game on this floor against Atlanta, and that's going to be a foul. White with a shove on Cole Anthony, or I beg your pardon, on Hauser. So Sam Hauser picks up the foul. Mazzulla does not like that. Just the second turnover. Boston had 6 assists, only 1 turnover in that first quarter.
Yeah, and after 21 turnovers in game 3. So we had a very clean first quarter.
Wow, Wagner up top for J.I. Jonathan Isaac.
Well, and already Wagner's 4th assist in the game in 8 minutes.
And let's not blow over the fact that's a 6'10 guy making plays like that. He and Banchero are point guards and big men.
Последние лучи заката лежат на поле шатыши. Дремотой розовой объята трава не кошеной межи. Ни ветерка, ни крика птицы над рощей красным тисклоном. И замирают песничницы среди вечерней тишины. Забудь заботы и печали, умчись без цели на коне.
Jamila, gida gida, yeah. Oh, heaven knows, men know that I love you so much, Jamila. Ooh, yes I do. You left the world and left me so cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nasa na fata miki rai, Jamila ki yafe mun. Na dawo gida ban gan Jamila ba, na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba. Hey, wayo, a neman mun Jamila. Jamila, don Allah gida gida, babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa.